Yo, it's your boy Aziz, and today we are going to be talking about things I've learned at 23.
Pray that I just crashed now. I pray that I last now. I really was a
23 years old. I bought a lot of stuff. I bought a lot of junk. I bought a lot of things I wish I didn't buy. And I bought a lot of things I'm actually pretty glad that I did buy at a young age. Here are 4 things that I am grateful I did or did not buy at this age. Number 1, I regret buying an expensive car. Now I know what you're thinking. How expensive is expensive? Let's be transparent here. A lot of times you go on channels and they're not giving you actual numbers and figures. This channel is going to be different because I'm going to give you the actual numbers and figures behind certain things. So in my opinion, expensive for a car below the age of 23, unless you have over 20K in savings, which a lot of you guys may not because you're still building yourself up financially, which is understandable. Now if you're one of those kids with rich parents, this video is not for you. Go buy whatever you want. But if you're one of the kids that grew up like me, who didn't have a lot of financial support when it came to their parents, or who kind of had to build stuff from the ground up, continue watching. Anyway, so unless you got 20K in the safe after purchasing a vehicle, I would not spend so much money on a vehicle. My car, I think with everything included, was like 20 racks. My first vehicle purchase was my best purchase. I purchased a 2014 Nissan Altima SL. It was $12,000. I put $3,000 on it and I had a car note for like $200. That was the best thing I ever did. But I crashed my car. Totaled my car, boom, $200 car note out the window. Can't get that no more. Anyway, later on, I'm with my boy. I went to look for an Acura that was $1,400. I didn't like the way it drove. I ended up getting the Jeep Trailhawk. Now, I didn't even know what this car really was. I just loved the car and I was like, wow, this is a great car. I didn't really test it to its limits. 1, this car is slow. I hate the fact that this car is so slow. 2, for the money that I spent on this car at an actual dealership, please, I'm telling you, as your big bro, as your friend, as your pal, as your possible crush, do not go to the dealership to buy a car unless you're willing to put about 10 racks down on a car. Do not go to the dealership, do not go to the dealership, do not go to the dealership. Do not go to the dealership to buy a car. Get it from a private dealer or get it for someone that already has pre-owned that car and you can just buy it off of them. Do not go to an actual like dealership. If that John says Toyota of Waldorf or like Toyota of like Timbuktu, do not go there. Go to a private dealer that says like auto sales or like unlimited car sales or something similar like that so that you can get an inexpensive car for less. In my opinion, this is my opinion. This is all taken for a grain of salt. So you could look and say, no, bro, you're just tripping. I'm telling you this. For my kids that don't have financial stability, like how I was when I first was purchasing my car, this is for you. Get you a car that's less than $15,000. $15,000 after interest. Now they're going to give you a loan, right? There's nothing wrong with getting a loan for a car, but you want the lowest loan as possible. You don't want to be owing $30,000 at the age of 20 years old. That's just crazy. Now, that's not the worst because there are some kids that you may know that are $100,000 in student debt. You don't want to compare yourself to those kids. You want to be up there, more financially stable or less in debt. The less debt that you have, the greater you will be in life. I'm trying to tell you, the more freedom you will have, the more you can do, the more you can move around at a younger age, have less debt. Now, would you rather look at your loan payment a month from now and say, wow, I only own $12,000? Or would you rather look and it say, I own a whole nother $25,000? For me, to you, get a car that's reliable, that's gonna last a cool 2 years or so, at least 2 years. Because at the end of a year, after you pay that car off, you could always trade that car in for a better car. And then you could kind of keep on rinse and repeat that cycle. Say there's a car that's $20,000, right? And you already have a car that's $10,000. You could trade that car in for that $20,000 car without putting $20,000 down. And then you'll just have another loan for $10,000. And then you keep on repeating. But this car that you have for the loan that's $10,000 is worth $20,000 because this car is worth $20,000. But because you trade in your $10,000 car, now you only had to actually pay $10,000 for this car. Now you have this $20,000 car that you have a $10,000 note on. And then 2 years from now, after you pay this car off, you could put this $20,000 car on this $30,000 or $40,000 car. And your interest rate will be better because your credit would have been being built this whole entire time. So now at 25, you have a $40,000, $50,000 car. You just took the baby steps of trading and renting and repeating that cycle. That's what I'm doing now. I should have done that a minute ago, but I was dumb. I crashed my car, okay? Everybody's gonna crash a car. I'm not saying everybody, but most of y'all gonna crash a car, all right? But you get what I'm saying? Don't get a new car. Get something that's a little inexpensive and that you can kind of just build off on later. Look here. Another thing that I forgot to say is that you're gonna realize this later on in life, or maybe realize it now, but there's a market for every single thing. This is a good thing and it's a bad thing. It's kind of annoying. There's a market for houses, there's a market for just a regular stock market, and there's a market for cars. Housing market, you're gonna hear, oh, it's a buyer's market, oh, it's a seller's market. That means that it's a good time to buy a house because the interest rates are low and the costs of houses are low. Or if you say, oh, it's a selling period, that means that the interest rates are high and the cost of houses are high. It's the same thing when it comes to cars. Let's say that this one car, same exact car, in February, that thing could be worth $10,000, but in like April, May, June, when it's summertime, everyone wants to get a new car, everyone wants to pop out, that same car will be worth $15,000 to $16,000. I've seen one car specifically that I've literally been tracking. This car, hold up, I don't have time to pull it up, but this one car, since I've seen it's been on the market for 2 months. When I first saw it, it was worth $15,000. Now, because it's winter time, it's a rear wheel drive car, it's worth $12,000. Wait it out, look for great opportunities to buy cars and then buy. Don't just be in a rush to actually make a purchase. If you have to, say you have your money saved up and you're like, okay, I'm ready to buy a car, but the market is high, just stack your bread and wait for the market to go back down when it comes to cars. By the time that car you want goes down in price, you'll have more money, even if you have to stay down and take Ubers and Lyfts or ask for rides for 1 or 2 months. Just stay down, wait for the market to drop, and then buy that car. And then because you stay down, you stack your bread, the actual cash value of the car went down, your interest rates are gonna be better because you'll be able to put more money down on that car. Or if it goes down enough after you stack your bread for those months, the cost of opportunity, I think that's called, the opportunity cost went down, but you built your capital up enough, you could just buy that car in cash. That could happen. I'm not saying it will always happen, but it could happen. But let me not talk our ear off. Me and Chipotle working on my vision boards. I'm actually at work too. I just need to say that I'm actually editing this video now. My bad for breaking the fourth wall. Y'all, hey, you looking good today though. I'm not gonna lie. You looking good today, bro. So like, or sis, you know what I mean? You looking good today. So like, keep that up. You know what I mean? Continue watching the video. Keep doing you. My bad for breaking the fourth wall. I'll try not to do it too much. Can't make no promises though, but y'all stay safe. All right, bet, let's get it. 2 watches. This watch right here, I don't know if you can see it, Amazon. I think I spent like $40, $50 on this watch. Great watch, reliable, I love it. You're young, you're not a rapper, you're not someone that has to prove their status to a whole bunch of people. Why do you want to spend over $300 on a watch? Now I understand if it's like a gift or something, but you should not be spending $300, $500 on a watch. $1,000 on a watch? $1,000 on a watch? You know what I could do with $1,000? $1,000, that's like a quarter of rent. Not a quarter, that's like half a rent. I think that may be rent. $1,000 may be rent. Anyway, don't buy watches. It's not, I'm not saying that you can't, but you know, me personally, I think every man should have a watch collection, at least 5 watches in the collection. Your watch collection at 25 should not be $10,000 for watches. That's just insane, bro. Unless you got it like that. Don't try to flex to look like you're ahead of people, or don't try to get certain items to look like you're more ahead than you actually are. Just be where you are and gradually grow into who you're going to be in life. And the watches, I promise you, the watches, the jewelry, the chains, all that stuff will come. All the flashy stuff will come, but you have to build yourself up. None of this stuff is overnight. And yes, I'm telling you things that I wish I didn't buy at 23, but I'm also gonna tell you things I wish I knew at 23. Well, before I turned 23. All this stuff, when you're younger, and I don't know if your situation is like mine, but I know when I was younger, I struggled and I grinded my butt off. I made a lot of mistakes and I got lazy at some points, but for the most part, I grinded a lot. That's why I'm not saying I'm ahead of my peers, but I'm the only peer, I think I'm the only one that I know amongst my peers that has my own apartment, my own car, yeah, that I bought myself. So I'm doing pretty decent. I'm not saying I could be doing 100 times better, but I'm on a pretty decent spot right now. Now, this is one thing that you're going to have a hard time dealing with. I had a hard time dealing with it, but once I accepted it. There is no such thing as you made it. When you're younger, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm in this terrible situation with my family or from my parents, my living situation. I gotta hurry up and get some money so I can make it. You're listening to all this rap music and it's like, oh my gosh, I gotta make it. There's no such thing as you make it. Once you turn 23, after you turn 18, once you turn 19, once you turn 20, once you turn 21, 22, you have to keep on living life every single year. You're never gonna get to a point in life where you're here and you're just like, I made it, I'm done, my life is over. You see people that are millionaires that are literally killing themselves. You see people that are millionaires that are still struggling. There's reasons for that. You have to keep on maintaining and growing your life. You have to keep on setting goals. You have to keep on getting to the next level of life. If you're not doing that, then sooner or later, yes, you will end up falling off or you will end up crashing out. I don't want you to do that. I personally don't. I don't know, but I can't speak for everyone else, but I want everyone to do it as best as they can. So realize that there's not such thing as you make it. Keep on grinding. This life is a marathon, not a sprint. I didn't know that. I didn't realize what that was until this year, until I made a bunch of mistakes and I realized life is a marathon. You gotta go continually and take the steps in stride. If you are like, oh my gosh, there's gonna be a point where I make it, and you get to that point and you realize you have to keep on living life even after you got to that point of success, it's gonna be the most discouraging thing ever. So keep realizing that yes, I'm here and I have to keep on building up in life. I'm not just going to one day have a wall and it's gonna be done. No, I have to keep on building that wall afterwards. I have to build a second building. I have to build another shelter. I have to build something else. Every single day as a man, but as an individual who came up from nothing, you have to keep building no matter what. That's just life. That goes for everybody. People that grew up rich, grew up poor, you have to keep on building, you have to keep on wanting more in life in order to get the most out of life. Anyway. Now, for the ones that are really like just love traveling, that can travel, if I know some people that are still living at home and their parents allow them to travel and they don't necessarily have to worry about spending money or saving money so much, that's great. But as for us that are really trying to like build something up, vacations are cool. Going out of the country all the time is cool, but don't put that in the fact that you still have work to do here. You can't just be out the country all your life. If you save your money up later on, you can buy yourself tickets to out of the country safely without having to worry about when you get back home if you'll be in debt or not. That's great too. That's just something I'm glad I didn't buy. Number 4, I'm not gonna lie, even when you get older, when it comes to like designer and fashion stuff, fashion changes so much. Designer goes out of fashion, bro. Who remembers when everybody was wearing like the Gucci belts and like the Gucci slides and the Gucci, like everything was Gucci. If you didn't have a Gucci belt or Louis Vuitton belt, you were not cool. Now, I think everybody literally wears sweatpants. I don't even think people wear Gucci anymore. I haven't, you know when's the last time I seen someone actually wear Gucci? I think I seen a girl wear Gucci slides a couple weeks ago, but you know when's the last time I actually seen someone say, oh my gosh, you got that new Gucci belt? No one does that anymore, bro. Designer is overplayed and out, you know, it's just outdated a little bit. Now there's some designers that are still, that will always be popular. I think like Balenciaga, Alexander McQueen's. Designer sneakers aren't going out of fashion. I think the Louis Vuitton sneakers may be in and out, but for the most part, don't waste your money on designer. I always believe that you should buy at least a couple of staple pieces. Me personally, I do own a few designer pieces. Most of my closet is actually from like Fashion Nova or Shein, just because these are pieces that I know will not be going out of style anytime soon. When you're older, focus on longevity rather than temporary enjoyment or temporary clout or temporary hype. Focus on the longevity in life and things that are going to actually fulfill you long term rather than the short term. This turtleneck, $15. I know a year, 2 years from now, black turtlenecks will always be in style. Unless the apocalypse comes, the black turtlenecks will always be in style. There's too many iconic people that wore black turtlenecks for black turtlenecks to fall out of style. So people, don't spend so much money on designer. That's just real in my opinion. But yo, that's it for this video today. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. We're really on the road to 10K, but we're shooting for the moon, trying to get to 100 subs. I want to build this community up. I want to keep on encouraging the people that kind of grew up like me and being able to actually show everyone that we can build something from the ground up. I love you guys. Appreciate you guys for sticking to the end of this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the video, and I'm gonna see you all in the next video. Let's get it.